Hey, it's Quadix here. I'm here with What If Naruto Wasn't Dumb. Get this to 500 likes and I'll upload the next part. Check out my other quality what ifs. The links to playlists of all the what ifs I've done will be in the description. Check out the community tab. I use that for polls to select what videos I do and more. Please like, comment, queue as much as you would like, or any other comments you may have, like what if suggestions and more. I read and respond to all comments. I'm surprised there wasn't a like in that sentence. Make sure you're subscribed. If not, hit that subscribe button. Check out my Instagram. The link to that will be in the description. Feel free to DM me. I respond to all DMs. Now that whole thing is out of the way, roll the intro. Hey, one little interruption before we get into the video. When I hit 10,000 likes, I'll be uploading one video every hour for the whole day. So 24 videos in one day. And I need to get to pre-recording, and that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend and hopefully throughout the week. I want a schedule of 3 videos a day. I know I haven't been doing that the past week that I came from break. I've still kind of been on break, but I'm back and fully ready. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe. When we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'll upload 24 videos, as I said, in one day. Also, I don't think I'm gonna be doing a 5,000 special unless something new comes up in my mind, which I just did. So wait for the 5,000 subscriber special. I think you guys will enjoy it. Let's get into the video. Kakashi sat beside Inari, both looking at the ocean. Naruto didn't say any of that out of spite. He's just a bit stubborn, that's all, Kakashi gently said, while what Naruto had said was that cold, bitter truth. The weight of those words was not something an 8-year-old can handle. Naruto was different. He had been handling such weight ever since he learned to walk on his feet. Naruto is just like you in the regard that he has no father. That was a lie. Kakashi knew that Naruto knew who his father was, but Naruto had no memories of him. In fact, Naruto has no memories of his parents at all. They were taken away from him at his birth, so he doesn't understand what parents are. He also had no friends, he explained. Inari's head lifted up to face Kakashi, confusion in his eyes. Kakashi continued, however, there wasn't a single moment when I saw him cry or get sulky. That was true. Naruto until now had faced the difficulties of life head-on and won, becoming stronger after defeating each challenge. He is desperate to make people recognize him, Kakashi said. Even now, when Naruto had a bored, indifferent expression on almost all the time, Kakashi could see it in his eyes. The hope that someone will recognize him for who he is was naked for all the world to see. Unfortunately for Naruto, the world acted ignorant. Kakashi chuckled softly. He got bored of crying at the world a long time ago. Inari looked down, beginning to understand what Kakashi was trying to say. Naruto was not born strong. He chose to get strong so he could live his life in a better way. Naruto knows where true strength comes from, just like your father. In fact, Naruto might even be someone who understands you the most, Kakashi said. Inari was slowly understanding that Naruto might be the only one who was most similar to Inari. Kakashi eye smiled. The words that he said to you earlier, he's probably told himself that over and over again. Naruto flashed to his training spot, fist tightly clenched. He felt a little bit of guilt creep over him for shouting at such a young kid, but the feeling was easily overshadowed by the rage he was feeling. The nerve of that brat. I don't know any suffering. He won't last a day living my life, he raged inside his mind. Kurama kept quiet, but was concerned for his host. He decided to let Naruto burn his anger off by himself instead of talking it out of him, making a half ram sign, causing 100 clones to appear. He was about to charge in head first and eliminate them in the most brutal ways he could think of, but visibly forced himself to think logically. This could be an opportunity for training. It slipped his mind completely that he would be too exhausted to go to the bridge tomorrow. He dispelled half of the clones, causing the other half to look at him in confusion. We will try to reduce the numbers of hand seals in Suiton, Daibukofu no Jutsu from 18 to 10 for now. He could reduce them further when he was back in Konoha. The clones nodded as one and flash stepped to the nearest body of water, eager on getting it done by tonight. As he flash stepped after them, he frowned and thought, I really should learn the body flicker technique. Flash step is good and all, but it is for short distance purposes. Not to mention, I can quickly travel long distances much faster than Shunpa. Also, the body flicker is good for traveling quickly where I haven't marked. As he saw the clones working, he considered another idea. I wonder if the 9 Dame has a scroll written on how to draw water from nothing. It would be incredibly useful in Suiton Jutsu and survival as well. The whole night, Naruto worked on reducing the hand seals of the Suiton Jutsu. He was able to bring it down to 10, but it left him incredibly exhausted. He was barely able to drag himself back to Tazuna's house, and as soon as he was in front of his futon, he fell face first, asleep before even hitting the mattress. That is how Kakashi found him when he woke up. He woke Sasuke up, who looked at Kakashi, who was motioning him to be quiet, pointing at Naruto. Sasuke understood, and they both quietly got ready. Heading downstairs, they found Sakura eating breakfast on the table. Her eyes held confusion when she saw a member missing. Sensei, Sasuke-kun, where is Naruto? Sasuke spoke up before Kakashi could. Did it train so hard that he's knocked out? He won't be coming with us today. Kakashi nodded in agreement. They quickly had their breakfast and stood up, ready to leave. As they went outside, Kakashi turned to Tazunami. Please take care of Naruto. He's exhausted himself after training and won't be coming with us today. Tazunami frowned in concern. Are you feeling well enough, Kakashi-san? Kakashi rubbed the back of his head and chuckled. Yeah, I'm good. Tazuna nodded. Well then, let's be off. They walked away after that. Zabuza and Haku gazed at the workers on the bridge from their boat. Now is the time to attack, he murmured as he drew his blade. Naruto's eyes snapped open and immediately closed due to the brightness in the room. Groaning, he got up and slowly opened his eyes, letting them adjust. Damn, I trained too much last night, he thought. He checked his chakra reserves and winced slightly. They were a little less than half. Guess I did push myself too much last night, he thought. Oh, you think? Kurama's voice oozed sarcasm. Naruto winced again. Sorry, Kurama, but I was a bit angry last night, he defended himself. Kurama snorted. A bit? Brat, you scared the hell out of everyone. A bit is an understatement. I'm proud of you. Naruto shrugged and got up, noticing for the first time that the bed around him were empty. Eyes narrowing, he deduced that Kakashi must have decided to let him recover today rather than come with them. He quickly completed his morning rituals and dressed up. Tying his hair into a neat ponytail, he ran downstairs to the dining room, where Tazunami was washing the dishes. She turned to him and smiled. Oh, Naruto-kun. If you're wondering where everyone is, your sensei said to let you rest today. Naruto nodded. He figured as much. However, he could feel somehow that today would be different, and as such, he needed to get to the bridge. Reaching into his left hip pouch, he pulled out a small black pill. I've got no choice but to eat this, he thought as he put the food pill in his mouth. It would allow him to fight 3 days straight without rest, but I would be left totally exhausted at the end of that. He grimaced at the taste. It tastes so bad, he thought. Not even 10 seconds after he swallowed it, he felt chakra getting replenished to the maximum. Hell, he even felt it expand a bit. His hunger disappeared, making him smirk. Time to go, he thought, his smirk getting replaced with his natural scowl. Itekimasu, he called. Oh, that's the thank you thing. I can't believe I didn't pronounce it right. I'm not gonna retry because I know I won't pronounce it right. he called out as he departed. He had managed to master another level of his resistance seal in 1 week of training, increasing his raw speed even more. He tree hopped normally, choosing to conserve his energy for the battle he somehow knew will happen. As he crossed the clearing, his eyes landed on something, making him stop. That's interesting. Tsunomi was cleaning up the kitchen when she heard the sound of the door breaking. 2 men with swords came inside, and one of them grinned. Daughter of the bridge builder, Tazuna, you're coming with us. Inari heard the noise and saw his mother going with the men. He felt afraid. However, he forced himself to remain strong. I'll save you. Flashes of how Naruto called him weak fueled his courage. Naruto arrived back at the house just in time to see 2 wannabe samurais rushing at Inari, swords drawn. Wasting no time, he immediately released his seals and flash stepped to Inari, quickly grabbing the mother and duo and flash stepping back just in time too. The sword sliced at the space where he was a moment ago. The thugs were dumbfounded. What just happened? Only then they noticed that Tsunami was gone. They turned around and saw a blonde kid in dark blue clothes, holding Tsunami and Inari a safe distance away. The presence of Hitai ate beneath his left shoulder confirmed the fact he was a ninja. Naruto settled Tsunami down, cut her ropes. Tsunami-san, please stay behind. Inari, good job on keeping them here. He smiled. Inari brightened up at the compliment. Turning to face the thugs, he adopted the expression when he was dealing with thugs who had no brains, an indifferent expression to convey that he didn't feel threatened at all. It served as an excellent way to piss them off, every time. So, gotta send Dumb and Dumber to kidnap a woman. I'm not surprised at all. He kept his tone light enough so that they would lose their cool. The one wearing the hat scowled and said, You're just an incompetent ninja that Tazuna hired, aren't you? Naruto pretended to inspect his nails. Incompetent? I don't know about that. I literally snatched Tsunami from you and you didn't even notice. The one with the eye patch scoffed angrily and said, Let's say you stop us. With that, both of them prepared to rush at Naruto, intent on showing him their sword skills. Naruto decided some mind games were in order. Snorting, he pointed his fingers towards them. If anything, you're the ones incompetent. You failed to notice the 2 clones standing behind you. As he predicted, the 2 stupidly turned their backs towards him to inspect behind them. Finding no one, their eyes widened. He tricked us! But it was already too late. Naruto flash stepped in between them and delivered a flawless, executed split kick to their heads, easily knocking them unconscious and sending them on the opposite sides of the aisle and down the river. He doubted they would survive. He suddenly realized that he just performed his first kill. He had just ended another being's life. However, instead of puking his guts out like he thought, he only felt empty. He waited for some terrible feeling that one got after their first kill, but nothing came, and somehow it made him feel even worse. Tsunomi and Inari watched with growing horror as both men went floating down the river. They turned to watch Naruto, who only had a blank expression on his face. Concern grew on Tsunomi and she reached up to touch his shoulder. Naruto-kun? Naruto snapped out of his trance and looked at her, regaining his senses. He gave a serious look to Tsunomi. Tsunomi-san, I must get going now. Putting 2 fingers onto the ground, he easily sensed his team's chakra and 2 other signatures, one of them very familiar and the other distinctly familiar. Zabuza has already arrived on the bridge, he declared, ignoring Tsunomi's gasp. He had to get there quickly. Turning to Tsunami, he said, Go inside the house and lock every door and window. Make sure no one can get inside, he warned her. The mother nodded and immediately went back inside the house. Naruto turned his gaze in the direction of the bridge. It was good that he had put his Hiraishin formula at the end of the bridge. He was gone in a blue flash. Things that escalated on the bridge as soon as the team and Tazuna got there. They got there to see all the workers bleeding. What is this? Tazuna exclaimed, rushing up to one of them, the only one who seemed to be awake. What happened? A monster, the worker muttered, gritting his teeth in pain. Just as thick mist rolled in. Here they come. That was so bad. I'm redoing that. I'm not editing it either because that takes time. Here they come, Kakashi said as Tazuna backed up and the ninja took up a defensive formation around them. Long time no see, Kakashi, came Zabuza's voice through the mist. I see you're still with those brats. He's shaking again. Poor kid. Where's the blonde one though? He was at least decent with the wimps you have with you now, he taunted. Sasuke gritted his teeth at that. Even when Naruto wasn't there, the enemy still acknowledged him. Kakashi felt a surge of pride at Zabuza's taunt. Naruto was already making waves of a missing nin acknowledge him. He replied back, sorry, but he's on a separate assignment. You get to deal with us today. There was no need to mention the assignment was to sleep. A group of Zabuza's clones surrounded them. Sasuke gave a small grin and put up a brave face. I'm just excited to see you again, Kakashi ordered. Do it, Sasuke. Sasuke disappeared in a sudden burst of speed, and mere moments later, all the Zabuza clones splashed into water. He saw through the water clones, came Zabuza's voice as the mist cleared slightly to show Zabuza and the fake hunter nin standing on the bridge. It looks like you have a rival, huh, Haku? Indeed it is, the hunter nin, Haku said with a nod. But I still stand my point. The blonde one was way faster than what I just saw, Zabuza said. Haku then started spinning incredibly fast, moving towards them. Sasuke tensed up and met him in between, his kunai clashing against Haku's senbon. I don't even want to have to kill you, but you won't stand down, will you? Haku asked, which made Sasuke scoff. Don't be foolish. I see, but you won't be able to keep up with my speed the next time. Plus, I've already gained 2 advantages. 2 advantages? Sasuke repeated. The first is the water on the ground, and the second is that I've occupied one of your arms. You will now only be able to run from my attacks. Sasuke's eyes widened along with Kakashi when Haku started forming seals with only one hand, ending in half-ramp seals again. The water around them suddenly rose into the air and formed needles, which all flew straight towards Sasuke. Haku leapt away just in time, but it seems Sasuke got caught in the barrage. Haku got his answer when he saw Sasuke had jumped up and was throwing shuriken at him. Haku neatly backflipped to avoid them, but when he looked up again, Sasuke was gone. You're pretty slow, came his voice from behind. Now, you can only receive and block my attacks. Sasuke slashed at Haku, who blocked with his hands. He almost missed the kunai in Sasuke's other hand and ducked low, right in the path of Sasuke's kick, which connected to his mask. Zabuza couldn't believe it. Haku's lost in speed? Sasuke. Sasuke couldn't help himself. Looks like my speed is better than yours. However, Zabuza quickly recovered and said, at this rate, you will be defeated, Haku. You know that, right? Haku got up and formed a strange hand seals. Yes, we can't have that now, can we? All of a sudden, the air seemed to get cold. Secret technique. Demonic ice mirrors. The water on the ground, Sasuke suddenly rose up to form plates of water, which froze and took an appearance akin to that of a mirror. The mirrors rose up and formed a dome around Sasuke, who looked nervous for the first time in the fight. Haku moved towards one of them and seemingly stepped into it. He appeared in one mirror, but as Sasuke moved to slash it, Haku appeared in every single one of the mirrors surrounding him. Well then, shall we begin? Haku asked. I'll show you my real speed. One Senbon attack came, then another, and another of all of them too fast for Sasuke to avoid. Screams of pain tore from his throat. Sasuke! Kakashi moved forward to help his student, but Zabuza blocked his way. I'm your opponent, remember? Your student's a goner, now that Haku has him trapped inside. Sasuke attempted a great fireball, but it was utterly useless. There wasn't even a scratch on the mirror. His screams continued. Sakura couldn't take the screams anymore, and with a shout of, Sasuke-kun! Moved to help him, completely abandoning Tazuna and leaving him unprotected. She threw a kunai at him, but Haku came halfway out of the mirror and caught it with ease. I don't think so, he said. Sakura paled. He caught it. Well, that's what happens when you fail to put the enemy in your equation. Everyone turned towards the voice coming from the side of the mirrors. However, Haku was too slow to react, and he caught him in the chin, easily sending him out of the mirrors. Naruto landed in the crouch, all ready for battle. Sasuke opened an eye and saw Naruto just outside the dome. Show off, was all he could get out before trying to get some air in his lungs from all the screaming. Standing up, he assessed the situation. Kakashi was about to engage Zabuza. The fake Hunter Nin was out of his dome and Sakura had just suffered one of her stupidity bouts. Oh, and Sasuke was trapped. I can work with this. Zabuza was paying attention to how Naruto was assessing them. It's the blonde again. He was fast enough to catch Haku off guard, and it looked like he wasn't even trying. Eyes narrowing, he turned his attention back to Kakashi. Haku recognized the boy. It's him from the forest. Apparently, the wait got boring for Zabuza. He threw 4 kunai at Naruto. Naruto danger sense activated and saw them coming in slow motion. Preparing to flip out of the way, he was shocked when 4 Senbon collided with the shuriken. Everyone had the same thought on their mind. Why did he save Naruto? Zabuza-sama. Please, let me deal with this, Haku requested. Kakashi found himself in a tight spot. Sakura couldn't move from her spot because she's a useless piece of... You know what, it's fine. And if Kakashi moved to help Sasuke, he would leave Tazuna open to Zabuza. Naruto critically assessed Haku. I assume you're the one who put this dome up. You have an ice bloodline limit, don't you? Haku stiffened, as did Zabuza and Kakashi. You're brat smart, Kakashi. Zabuza said to Kakashi, who only narrowed his eyes. Haku spoke. You're quite perceptive, Naruto-kun. However, you can't help your friends in any way. Sasuke chose this moment to throw a kunai at Haku, who simply tilted his head out of the way. I didn't forget about you. Sasuke gritted his teeth. This was getting bad. Very fast. Haku turned to Sasuke. I would have liked for you to just lie there quietly, but I guess I can't expect that. Very well, I will finish. That was all he got out before his face met with Naruto's shoe again. He was thrown back almost 7 feet by Naruto, who was looking at him like he was an idiot. Who turns their face away from an opponent to talk, you idiot? However, Haku was not the only one shocked. Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, and Zabuza were thinking along similar wavelength. He was fast enough to catch him off guard the same way, a second time. Since when was Naruto so fast? That's dope. I didn't even see him move. Well then, Naruto, keep him busy. Things are getting interesting. Now that Sasuke's brat might actually have a chance of making out alive, Haku wasted no more time. Merging back into the mirror, Sasuke had to hold back a groan at what he was about to go through. He was unprepared, however, for Naruto to suddenly appear before him. Naruto already had a vague idea of what was about to happen, and so he summoned 4 shadow clones, taking up a pin-and-lock position around Sasuke. All 5 Narutos mentally called out while making the tiger seal. Water style, water wall! A wall of water rose before each of the clones from the water beneath their feet, who manipulated it to cover their heads as well. Sasuke, Naruto called out in a low voice. Sasuke turned to look at him and saw him keep the tiger hand seal up. This is only temporary solution. Whatever he's gonna throw at us. Senbon. Naruto rose his eyebrow. Okay, Senbon it is, though it will pass through it anyway. I want you to be on guard in case he comes out of the mirrors. As Naruto predicted, Senbon came out of them from all directions. Naruto and his clones made their walls as thick as possible. Senbon still passed through, but it was clear that they were not doing as much damage as before. They weren't even dispelling the clones. Haku didn't know that Naruto had enforced them with chakra. I have to destroy those clones, he thought. It was only for a fleeting moment, but Naruto and his clones caught it. It all happened in slow motion. Haku splashed through the wall and swung around his Senbon, but Naruto's clones were busy maintaining the wall, so they weren't able to react in time and got dispelled. Naruto himself dodged a Senbon with a hair's breadth. I don't know what that means. And this has been a messed up episode. I've been making dumb jokes and I've not been pronouncing stuff. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next part. Bye. Hey, quick announcement before I end the video. I have new series. One of them is what if Naruto was in high school DxD. Naruto doesn't have chakra. Naruto, but he does keep his ninja senses. He does keep his memory. He dies in the original Naruto world, saving the world, and he's reincarnated into this world. He doesn't have, like I said, chakra, but he does get high school DxD powers. He does get, I don't know, devil powers, and he is still in Ria's Grimoire's group, I guess you could say. Oh yeah, he also like meets Issei. Issei is still in the story. He isn't like kicked out of the story. I also did what if Naruto was pushed to the edge. I did part 1 to that. Part 2 will be coming out. I also did what if Naruto learned the secret to the shadow clone jutsu earlier. That will be continuing. I know I haven't uploaded in a while. And if you're new, I don't know what, I think this will be at the end of every video. I also did what if Deku had the Sharingan. What if Naruto wasn't dumb. What if Minato and Kushina adopted / trained Naruto. That one is confusing. They lived until Naruto was 6. Naruto is aged up. He's also gonna get with Anko. He's in a team with Shisui and Itachi. I also did what if Naruto was Uzumaki, Uchiha, and Senju. He is also aged up a bit in there. I also did what if Naruto was Indra's reincarnation. I know I haven't done that in a while, but I've planned the whole thing out. I just don't know when I'm going to upload it. And that's all the recent stuff. I did what if Naruto had an ancient Sharingan a while back, and you could just go to playlist, and I have all the playlists that I've done in the description. And my first what if I ever did is what if Naruto got banished after Sasuke left the village. The quality at the beginning isn't good, but you know, if you want to check it out, you can check it out. I appreciate it, and roll the outro.
Wanted a bitch who was on the move, but you on a goddamn late. Got that one in my bed and she just wanna sleep. Fucking up all of the sheets. She only wake up to eat. Do this shit every week. Like why you do that? Crying you wanna be great, but sleeping until the next day. Why you